Amsterdam Kitchen. Join us live on Saturday mornings
from 10 till 12
on Broadcast Amsterdam.
Or catch up later.
It's all online.
Yeah, you're right. You're here with the Amsterdam Kitchen.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, Geli Carney and me, Cathy Central.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello. Right, our computer crashed this morning just before the show, but we've rescued it for you in time. Yeah. It's only 10:05. We're not that late.
No.
That's life. It happens.
Not late at all. It's a Saturday. Anything can... We can just... Well, anyway, here we are.
Roll with the punches. Let's hope it keeps going for the rest of the show. We're here till 12 o'clock. We've got a great show for you. We've got a special guest from Chabrol Wine Shop, and his name is Bart Hilz, one of the many talented team, and they've got a very special celebration, celebrating 5 years.
10 years, isn't it?
Is it 10? Oh,
10.
Correct
10.
Sorry. Even better. And they've got a couple of branches in Amsterdam, one of which is on the Overtoom, which is my local, and I really love their wine selection. I'll be here. They've got loads of great wine stories.
Broadcast Amsterdam.
Welcome to the studio, Bart Hilz.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Good morning. And you're from Chabrol Wines, a local wine supplier, and you've got something to celebrate.
Yes, we do. So Chabrol has 2 shops in Amsterdam, one at the Haarlemmerstraat and one at the Overtoom. And next month we celebrate our 10th anniversary at the Overtoom. So yeah, we import mostly the wines ourselves. So let's say 80% of all the wines we have in the shop, and mostly focused on European wines, with a big focus on France in specific. The one shop at the Haarlemmerstraat does exist since '91 already, with Bistro Neuf next to it, founded by Rex Neven. And in 2009 we opened our second shop at the Overtoom. So yeah, we have a big party next month.
I didn't know the one on the Haarlemmerstraat was here before, and that you're the newer little sister sort of thing. But you're bigger.
We are. The shop is bigger, but yeah, that's the biggest shop for us.
I'm so glad you. You just mentioned there that you are focusing on European wines, because something that I've found since moving here is they're hard to find European wines in the supermarket. They tend to be much more New World. So we go to a local wine store for our European wines, which we generally prefer. Is there a particular reason for it being that way, or?
I think back in the day when the supermarkets came, that's when the opportunity for the New World wines, as we call it, was created, since they put on more information on the bottle. So for example, like in a French wine, you just need to know the village and the appellation to know what grape variety it is. And yeah, so in supermarket, people just want to have the information on the bottle.
Yeah.
So that has been a big development when the supermarkets came, that there was more like a bigger platform to say so.
Okay, so for the consumer, it just sort of felt more accessible in a way, I suppose.
Exactly, yeah.
And so you are now, I guess, your remit is to really kind of break that down for the European market.
Yeah, so that's for us as Chabrol. Like, people come to a shop, to have the information and to be advised.
They get a lot more than the service, if you can call it that, from the supermarket, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's what we want to like. We want to make the full experience, not only in the shop, but also think ahead with people, do deliveries, and besides, we also do a lot of events. So last 2 years, we also been doing the wines on Dekmantel Festival, for example.
Oh, right.
So that's like, we try to focus not only on the shop, but also just outside to do more and more and more. Okay. So we do in-store tastings.
Nice.
So my colleague Tarek did a tasting on natural wines yesterday evening, for example. But
that's the biodynamic wine.
Exactly,
Very interesting.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Organic, biodynamic, and natural wines. So we do a lot in the store, but we also try to expand outside the store on such events.
It's so much more than a wine shop. That's totally the vibe I get with all your events. I follow you on Facebook and Instagram, and that's so nice to do the tastings. A course. My husband did a course with you guys.
Exactly.
Really?
Yeah, we do wine courses.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Because you've got this area at the back, which is kind of social, nice table at the Overtoom branch, and it seems perfect for hosting things like that.
Yeah, so that's what we like. 2 buildings basically attached to each other, and back in the days it was a garden, but we made it into a tasting room to have more space and to have this possibility to organize all such things.
I love the sound of that. So you're doing the tastings once a month, is that right?
Yeah, roughly. Sometimes a bit more.
And they might have a theme.
Yeah, so we did a tasting together with the Zeeduivel fish shop just at the Jan Pieter Heijstraat. Yeah, we did a tasting on seafood. And as I said before...
We missed it.
Yes!
Yeah, so we do all different tastings. We sometimes on specific regions, specific grape varieties. Okay. And as I said just earlier, like Tarek did, on like on the broader spectrum of organic, biodynamic, and natural wines.
You said something about organic wines the week before. You said you don't usually like them, or something.
No, I find that at the price range, for just a kind of daily drinking wine, I find that it's not easy to get a nice biodynamic wine. You have to pay a lot more to get the equivalent of a regular. Am I making sense?
Yeah.
Like most of the time that's true. That like as you dive into how you work biodynamic or organic, that's most of the time it's not easy to get a wine as cheap as just. So you always pay a bit more, but then in the end it will benefit.
It benefits.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. I like the idea of biodynamic. I do generally try to buy that side of it in my weekly shopping, but it's just unlike other produce. I feel like the price differential is really marked.
But biodynamic is even different from biologique and organic because it's all stuff about the moon, isn't it?
So exactly. Come on,
do you believe in all that?
Can you explain a bit more?
Yeah, so like organic is like in one or two sentences. Like organic is just trying to use as little pesticides and like spraying in the vineyards. So to work basically as clean as possible. And then if you go into biodynamic, then you follow Rudolf Steiner. So then you go into the moon, and there's this digging of cow horns.
Yes,
it's a bit more. Yeah, it's a bit more
cow horns.
Yeah,
you've got to put like animal bones in the ground and stuff. It gets a little bit.
Yeah, it gets a little bit on that.
Yeah, but okay, that's fine. I don't mind that if it's. But does it bear out in the bottle? This is a big question.
No, that's a funny thing. I brought a bottle for you, which is like a prime example of what we like to focus on, and an example of a producer who will be there next month during our anniversary, which is a big example of. So it's Louis Antoine Luit, who is a Frenchman who's making the wines for a couple of producers in France, but then he also is making wines now in Chile. And sometimes you taste it, like here, this is not officially like a biodynamic wine, but here you will taste that it's different than all the other wines that a lot of people know. But sometimes you don't even taste the real big difference, and that's the funny thing. A lot of people have this, it's natural, and then you taste it in a bottle or it's different. And, but there are sometimes that you just don't taste it if you compare it to each other.
But you're saying that you can really really notice something with this one.
Yeah, so this is the funny thing is like the story behind how we found this producer. Janneke, one of our colleagues, was working in the Loire Valley with the Butron family. So we tried to keep as close contact with our own producers as possible. And then she met Louis Antoine Luit in the Beaujolais, actually, not in the Loire Valley, because they were working together for one other producer, which will also be there. And then they start tasting also his wines, and he like just taste something else, which is from the New World in this case, so from Chile. And so this is mostly Muscat, so which is a very expressive grape variety. So when you smell it, you think, "Oh, this is going to be," and it's cloudy. It's orange wine, so it's made with the skin contact.
Okay, so it's going to look really different.
Yeah, so this is going to be, and this has been so popular since I think we have it in the shop now for just under a year, but it has been a very popular wine in the shop, but also in some specific restaurants.
Can I ask what the retail price is?
Of course, 16 euros.
Oh, okay.
But then for a liter, right. So that's
well,
that's fair.
I think we're going to have to open it up. Amsterdam Kitchen. We're back with Bart Hilz from Chabrol Wines. We've cracked open the bottle.
Boy, are we back, yes.
So again, what is this called?
Pipeño. So that's the classic way of making the traditional wine from the area in Chile. So
Toast to Chile in the news at the moment. Good luck to them.
Yes, to happier times.
10:37. That's a good time to have a glass of wine.
Is it? Yeah.
You heard it here first, people. So I'll just describe. The colour is extraordinary. It is a kind of
Orange?
It's orange, but it's not clear, right?
No.
It has a...
So it's unfiltered.
Yeah.
This is how wine could be and how we like it to be a bit more extraordinary.
But more colourful than, you can get like cloudy ciders and stuff like that. But this has got a much richer, goldeny kind of, but you're right, amber.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very warm, nice colour. And the aroma is fantastic, right? It's really...
Yeah, that's where you see it's Muscat, so it's expressive. It's,
very quite heady,
out of the glass. And
what are they, stoned fruits, isn't it? It's that sort of apricot-y edge to it, and honey. And anyway, so that's the aroma, but then the taste is completely different.
There you see that it's made as orange wine, so with the skin contact, so it has a bit of that texture and slight tannins to it.
Yeah, I was going to say I can feel the tannin. Yeah.
The tannin, I like that. So it's the skins that make it cloudy, which is that right?
No, so that's mostly in this case about not filtering the wine. But so the orange wine, just a small explanation. Normally you make red wines, and the juice of a grape variety, in a blue grape variety, doesn't have any color, so it comes all from the skins.
Yep.
So in the case of orange wine, you make it from a white grape variety, but then you leave it again with the skins in contact. So then you get that color, and then you can still filter it to make it clear. Yes. But this is just unfiltered, so then it gets very cloudy. And when you shake the bottle, you will see that it's dusting around.
So is there? What's driving the desire for unfiltered wine? Is there some benefit or?
Definitely. So you get more texture. So there's more substance in your glass. It's most of the time it's also a preservative. Like the yeast particles which are still in it have a natural way of preserving wine. So then you could use less sulfur.
Brilliant.
That's
to make
the big
it.
thing.
Yeah. So it's a multi-purpose thing.
That's so interesting.
Yeah, but that's why you. Like such a wine you would never see in the supermarket, because if someone would open it back home, they would say, "Oh, this is off." And it's so strange in the glass. So so that's why it's not, and it's getting more and more accepted to say so. So that's
it's
cool
just
to mix
about spreading that the message that reducing the amount of sulfur, but this is the trade-off that you get. But actually, if you can get beyond the kind of what you're used to seeing, which is a very sort of clear jewel colour. I mean, the taste is really nice. It's surprisingly dry, given the rich headiness of the bouquet.
Yeah,
right?
and that's the cool thing, like the contradiction there between the nose and what you taste on the palate.
Yeah, I'm a bit obsessed with alcohol volume, and I always check because I like to see how much alcohol I'm having percentage-wise. And I thought this tastes actually stronger than it is, 12.4%.
Okay,
it tastes stronger than that to me.
Yes, it does pack a punch. And what would you recommend? What kind of food would you recommend with this?
Nothing.
That's the question.
Nothing.
No. This is for me like a wine which I could drink every day. But I would think if you go into like a smoky, if you have like an eggplant.
We were just talking about that.
Yeah, with like yogurt on top, so you get that creaminess and
like Lebanese.
I think you go in that direction. That will work very well.
That sounds,
now
I'm getting hungry.
I'm ready for some more.
Yeah.
Fill me up, Bart.
There we go.
Thank you.
Woo! There you go. You're in control of the text, Cathy. Are you sure?
Yeah. It's my husband's birthday, so I think in Holland it's felicitary to me also.
Absolutely.
Don't you think?
Yeah.
Proost to Menno.
Proost to Menno.
And the funny thing, so next month we celebrate the anniversary you said earlier, and then we have a couple of producers coming over to celebrate. So on the Thursday, the 21st, we will do a wine and jazz. So then there's a
wine and jazz.
Yeah, so a trio jazz players who will, and then we like make it like a living room setting in the shop, and then we combine jazz and we're going to match wine to like the music. And then we do some intermezzos with some food, of course.
Checking my diary.
That's so much fun. Is it true? It's on Thursday and Friday.
Yeah, so that's the Thursday we do like a wine and jazz, more classic style, and then on the Friday we get in some winemakers as Louis Anton Luit, but also Christophe Paquelet and then we just do a big jazz Beaujolais party in the shop. So and another couple of winemakers will be there.
So that's Thursday, the 21st of November, listeners, and the 22nd of November as well, Friday. Put that in your diary.
In the Overtoom shop. That's important, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah. So that's good because on the Thursday it's the Beaujolais Nouveau. So that's the first wine of 2019 getting released on that Thursday, and then we will celebrate, of course, both days with the Beaujolais Nouveau. So that's a multi-purpose. Beaujolais Nouveau
Lots
and
of
an
reasons
anniversary.
to celebrate.
Cool, cheers to Chabrol as well.
Yes, of course.
Yes, there's so many things to talk about. I really like your wine times because they have a newspaper with all stories and stuff. Because I think that's it. You're visiting the producers. You've got so many interesting stories to share. Tell us a little bit about that. You're still producing the wine times?
Yes. So that's exactly like all the adventures we have throughout the year. We try to combine in a wine times twice a year. So once in summer during Bacchus, the Bacchus Wine Festival, we are there since day one, and we also try to make it a Bacchus party with inviting a lot of winemakers, and so that's the first moment of the year to get out the wine times, and then now we're currently working on a December edition, so like a combination of the anniversary and all the festive days coming up, so with Christmassy. So that's always a good thing to dive into stories again and get our own newspaper.
That's really nice idea.
Did you have some Dutch text and some English text? Is that right?
Yeah. So we did it once in both languages, and I think now we switch just to pure English because then the winemakers can read it. Everyone in Amsterdam can read it. So that's just the easiest.
So do you get to visit the producers personally?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we try to, besides the shop, which is open 7 days a week. So we are here a lot to work. But no, I try to visit and to combine always a trip.
Yeah.
I always tell my girlfriend, like, I want to go to a place where I can at least visit one winemaker.
Yeah. That's tough.
Sometimes, yeah. No, that's a funny, like the personal contact with the winemakers. And I'll go to Germany in 2 weeks. We had a tasting recently with Philip Wiedmann, a German wine producer. So he was here to do a masterclass for Horeca during the day. And then at night we did a private tasting in the shop. So he was there, and we had such fun. So I thought, okay, I have a spare week off. So then I will visit him again. So that's the cool thing of going back and forth, and they come here.
And you build up a real relationship.
Exactly, yeah. So
that's great.
Yeah, so that's really we want to focus on, and that's the important thing, and not just buying cases of wine from an unknown person.
So it becomes
really
a much more personal interaction.
Because
really
that's
nice.
it. 80% of your wines are, imported by you guys. So that's a lot of visits and a lot of winemakers to keep up with and to discover. But I mean, I really feel that it is a vibrant place. I haven't come across such an interesting wine shop in a long time. So I really enjoy it. I come in. Staff have always got time to talk to you as well.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how they find the time between the travelling to the producers and the organising of events and writing a newspaper.
Yeah.
Well, hats off to you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, no. So that's, it's always, every day is different. And I come in on one day, and I fully focus on just only the shop with deliveries, and the other day I'm working on like events and stuff, and every day is going by so fast.
Yeah, but how lovely to have so much variety.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what's also interesting is that you don't just do wines, although you do wines so well. Sometimes, you're looking for something after dinner or something else. Like you've got a fantastic range of gins. We found great ports there as well. I mean, all sorts.
Yeah.
And our favourite champagne is, bubbly, it's the one they serve at El Bulli that you stock.
Agustín.
Yeah.
So that's the oldest cava producer from Spain.
Yeah.
That's really good. But so that's always, there has been a license to sell the liqueurs. So that's why we kept on that part of the shop as well. So we have quite a broad range of whiskies. Mm-hmm. We do a whiskey tasting twice a year.
Yes. The baker's thing. The baker's
the baker's best. So there's a Genever made by two brothers, and then they use leftover breads to make their Genever. So their Genever, every batch is different because they're relying on what
I need to get into Geneva. I haven't really.
I tasted this
got
one, the
my head around
Baker's brand,
Uh-huh.
and I think it was almost on the launch because it hasn't been going that long, has it?
No, we have it for a few years now, but
Oh,
yeah, it's quite. No, so we have everything open, so you can taste a lot. And
Very nice.
so we like twice a year we do a whiskey tasting, which is with the Whiskey Import Nederland, which is our importer in that case. But in November as well, we have some like an in-store tasting on Saturday afternoon where just 4 producers will be there, and then just people can taste whatever they like, and it's more like a informal,
just very informal
setting.
I
And
love the sound of that.
so that's why we try to also get as much contact like between us and the producers, but also between our clients and the producers to see, to meet them, to taste with them, and to have such an event on a Saturday afternoon.
I don't know. I mean, that sounds unique to me. I don't know of a wine shop that's so proactive in bringing together producer and consumer, and all of it's great. The social side, the educational side. 360-degree wines.
Yeah, my husband's done the wine course with you, and he was full of praise for it. It had the trainer, the guy, the expert. What do you call it? The viticulturist? I don't know. Yeah, very entertaining. Talks a lot about food combinations, and you're now doing the course in English, which I see, which is great. But I think it's hard. It's going to be hard for us to keep up with all the things that you're doing. So I think we just have to have you back on every now and then and share all the new stuff.
That sounds like that sounds like a plan.
On the show. But also, people should follow you on social media. Like, you've got all of that on Instagram, Chabrol. We've tagged you in our Instagram. What's the website again?
www.chabrolwines.com.
Chabrolwines.com.
Easy peasy, chabrolwines.com. And again, we'll put a link on the post. Lots going ahead. The main thing, obviously, the 21st and 22nd of November.
Yeah.
Should we try and go, Geli?
You're more than welcome. You're invited.
So good.
Thank you.
And and congratulations on your 10 years. So it's 10 years for the Overtoom shop, but actually Chabrol itself has been running 27, did you say?
Yeah, 91, so 28 already, yeah.
And the original founders are still part of the organisation.
Yeah, Rex is still there.
Good one. Well, steering you all.
It's not a bad industry to be in, is it?
Exactly.
From what you've been saying, sounds great.
And have you been with them 10 years?
No, I started working there a year ago, last October.
Oh, quite a newbie then, really.
It's going fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thanks for joining us, Bart.
Yes.
Thank you very much for having me.
Amsterdam Kitchen. Join us live on Saturday mornings
From 10 till 12.
on Broadcast Amsterdam.
We'll catch up later.
It's all online.